How do you deal with someone like that? Former NYPD investigator Thomas Ruskin on that. What do you do?
It's a very dangerous situation. What they're doing is they're trying to gain as much intelligence. What Thomas told you before on the phone is very crucial to investigators. If you're a hostage negotiator at this point in time, you want to use some of that information. You want to tweak him in a way to bring up his grandfather. What would Grandpa say if he knew you were in here? What would your mom say if she was out here? And see how he reacts. Well, see how he reacts to it first.
So he could get even more agitated.
If he does, you have to back off that tactic. In the meantime, I mean, you have many different scenarios going on here. You have police and emergency response units surrounding the building and the surrounding areas to try and keep the adjoining buildings safe and out of any line of something that could happen, be it an explosion or if he is armed and dangerous in that way. So you have to try and evacuate the area. You want to also try and lock down the rest of the building to confine his movements as much as you can to one confined area. Now, what's going against them? Most likely in the Discovery Channel building, there are massive TVs, as there are at Fox News. You can't go anywhere in this building without seeing a television monitor.
So he's actually seeing this coverage?
He may be watching Fox right now. He could be watching us right now.
So if he were listening to his brother-in-law?
It could set him off a little bit. It could incite the situation, and there's nothing the police can do short of cutting the power, maybe cutting the lines, but then again, it's another negotiation tool in dealing with him.
Now, the brother-in-law said he is capable of violence.
And the brother-in-law also said he was scared that he might show up at his door and hurt him and his wife.
Now, we don't know whether there's other
if that's
baggage there or issues there, you know, if families go here. But having said that, this switch thing that he has.
The dead man switch.
What is that? And what does that mean?
Dead man switch is a way of rigging a bomb or explosive device that if you let go of it, it's like a trigger, it's a pressure point. If you let go of it, if that really is an active device, it has the capability of exploding. People do it in war situations.
But in other words, you're constantly holding it.
You're constantly holding it. It's
so
sort of like
it's sort of tired, can't you?
Correct.
So
and
that's
it's sort of like pulling the pin of a hand grenade, if we can put it in very simplistic terms, and holding the hand grenade together with the trigger on the hand grenade. So if you let go of it, it's going to explode. If that dead man switch is active and if the bomb is a real bomb, if the police should decide to take lethal action against him, if he fell, potentially could kill all the hostages. It's something else that SWAT, the hostage negotiator, and the bomb squad have to be worried about at this point in time.
Now, they have to keep talking to him, right?
Yes.
So
that's the key. Keep the dialogue going.
He could always hang up.
He could.
No,
there's other ways of communicating with him.
Tell me that.
Hopefully, and I'm sure, without giving away any trade secrets, at this point in time, they've surrounded the building. They're on adjoining floors. They would have alternate ways of communicating with him. In simplistic terms, even a bullhorn, if they had to. But the fact that he's talking to him is a good sign. Depending what he's saying can be good, can be bad, and the fact of they're watching his movements. I'm sure the Discovery Channel also has very sophisticated closed-circuit TV.
Well, I don't mean, on the lower right portion of the screen, we have a mugshot of him from his 2008 arrest. Now, we've had, you might find this shocking, some nefarious characters coming in and out of Fox News, the building here.
Right.
And normally, if they're suspicious, or if they've acted unusually, or if, you know, they might not like my market coverage on a given day, their picture is posted. So the guards at various entrances here know, do not let this person through.
Right.
Now, I would imagine the scene and ruckus he caused a couple of years ago would have at least prompted his picture to be passed around here. I don't know the setup outside that building or in the main entrances, but it doesn't appear like it caught anyone's attention.
Well, the initial reports on Fox were that he may have taken even a security guard hostage. So it's possible the security went out.
That someone did.
Approached him as he came in, if he did come in, and that person was the first hostage taken. Normally, security puts themselves in harm's way. And a lot of the security, as you know here at Fox, and we know all over the country are retired or former police officers.
I know this. You don't mess with them.
Yeah,
You don't mess with
you
them.
don't mess with him, but
Right.
if that's the first person taken hostage and he shows his vest, he would try to de-escalate the situation.
Now, there were reports of shots being heard, but I think as Shepard pointed out in the last hour, there's no clear way of knowing whether they were shots or just something else falling or breaking.
We also don't know who was shooting. What happens if he was being shot at
Very
by
good point.
an off-duty or retired?
So let me
police
ask you
officer?
this. Could there be anything hopeful in being read into the fact that we know of no one being harmed at this point, and that obviously most of the 1900 in that building got out? What?
That's good news. That's good news. And the longer this thing goes out, historically, it works better. The fact that you can negotiate with him now and say to him, look, Mr. Lee, you haven't hurt anybody. Yes, you know, you're going to go to jail. You've been there before. As his brother-in-law said, if it's true, he was locked up in San Francisco. He's been arrested there in Maryland. You're not a stranger to it. You'll be out in a week or two as you were last time. Give yourself up before someone gets hurt, before you get hurt. It's not worth it. You've made your point. You've been all over national news, international news for the last couple hours.
But why wouldn't the old incident we're showing it when he got arrested, the most recent arrest in 08, what is the procedure for law enforcement authorities when someone is arrested for a disruption? Now, this one wasn't violent, but it was crazy. What's the attention getter here?
The attention getter is he gets all, for him, it's all over national news.
I know, but why then, and this is when he was throwing the money around, but why don't legal authorities there say, we've got someone with some major issues here we got to keep an eye on? Or is it just too many?
I'm sure the prosecutors tried that. The laws, you know, allow a judge to sentence someone. It's out of the cop's hands. The cop's job.
So he's had no history of violence. He might have done some crazy things, but no violent things. There's very little they can do.
Till today. Today changes the whole scenario. Today he's going in there with an improvised or a real device. He may have fired shots. He may have a weapon. It's going to change the legal system as they look to prosecute him and as a judge looks to sentence him.
Is it your sense, too, that when a guy like that is pushed against the wall, he has entered that building, maybe thinking fatalistically, that he's never going to leave that building?
Very possibly. I mean, we don't know what's in his mind. And if his brother-in-law really did give us a good read.
Well, if he comes loaded with bear, you know?
Well, we don't know if the bear is loaded.
Right.
We know that he appears to have
whole device
devices.
could be a fake.
And he wouldn't be the first to try a phony improvised device.
How would you guys tell?
You can't. Sometimes you can't tell until you get it off him. The key here is to calm him down, talk to him, and start negotiating. As these guys, the guys who are hostage negotiators are as brave and as dedicated as the SWAT guys who may have to eventually arrest him. They are trained in how to talk to him and try and calm him down, make him understand the gravity of his situation, and it's best to start letting people go.
You've been very patient. I read a lot of anger into everything he's saying. I've read his manifesto here, and he gets increasingly violent even in the sound, the way he's talking about saving the planet means saving what's left of the non-human wildlife by decreasing the human population. Referring to Discovery, you're the media. You can reach enough people. It's your responsibility because you reach so many minds. Develop shows that will correct and dismantle the dangerous U.S. world economy. Stop all shows glorifying human birthing. I mean, the wheels are off.
It sounds ominous. It sounds very, very ominous. Yeah, the wheels are not, he's not riding on all 8 cylinders, as they used to say.
Right.
But, you know, hopefully.
But what you hope for is we can bring him back just enough.
You want to bring him back. You want to save all those other people. You want to save him. I mean, believe it or not, cops are really looking not only to save the hostages, of course, and the innocent people that surround that building. The cops themselves have put themselves in harm's way on upper floors. If it is a real device and that thing goes off, other cops could get hurt or killed. So
But
you
the
want
thing that seemed to worry you is that
He doesn't care.
given his increasingly vitriolic tone, and some of these not so stable ramblings, you're worried.
Yeah, yeah. He is a worrisome character. This could end very badly. Let's say a prayer, and hopefully it ends better.
Hopefully, hopefully. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Really appreciate it. With us